After 3 years of radio silence, Harry Styles is back, and what better way to return than dropping a hype club beat along with an unhinged video of a guy with blind mouse glasses chasing you? That's right, there is no better way. So today we're breaking down the meaning behind Aperature as well as its music video. Let's start with the lyrics. Taking no prisoners in war means going about something with no mercy. In this instance, assuming he's talking to a potential romantic partner, he's telling them to just be straightforward with him. The drinks going straight to his knees imply that he's nervous about this. His knees are shaking, despite alcohol usually giving people more confidence in situations like this. He's fully sold on this new person, he wants them, and going on clean seems to imply that he wants to enter this new relationship both with transparency and without prior stuff from his life affecting it. Repeating this suggests that this is more of a promise to himself rather than the other person, like he's reassuring himself that he's not gonna mess this thing up like he might have maybe done in the past. He's also not going to play any games with this person, just going to take the experience as it comes, and skipping the rest of the gibberish in this verse, this sets up the main theme of the song perfectly. Aperture is a camera setting that determines how much light is let into the lens. Here, Harry is using it as a metaphor for letting light into your life, whether it be in the form of love or new experiences, and embracing that you don't know everything about what's going to happen. The chorus just has a very celebratory sound to it. Despite the fact that Harry may have been unsure of the genuineness of the connection with this person, it worked out. It finally appears it's only love. The confusion fades and love feels simple and certain. The repetition emphasizes acceptance and emotional reassurance. Verse 3 once again establishes the concept of going all into something, not hesitating too much and not asking questions. It also suggests that this person might be toying with Harry a bit, and so he's feeling uncertain, but going into it anyway. The bridge feels like Harry trying to ground himself in real time. After all the uncertainty earlier in the song, I won't stray from it sounds like a promise he keeps repeating because he's scared he might break it, and default to his instinct to pull away when there's uncertainty in what is to come, like many of us do. Time won't wait on me could reference the fact that there's literally pressure to figure this out fast for whatever reason, or it could generally be a commentary on the fact that we all have limited time and we can't afford to wait forever and avoid everything that scares us. When he says, I want to know what safe is, it's a wish for something that doesn't feel like it could disappear at any second, which is no doubt what this situation feels like now. The repetition in the bridge once again makes these thoughts feel circular and anxious, like he's repeating it over and over, convincing himself to stay instead of running. But if he works towards letting this light into his life, eventually he will reach a point where it feels safe. The song ends on the positive chorus, implying that all worked out well and honing in on the message that we should all be more open to new love and new experiences because there's a good chance that they will work out. In a BBC Radio 1 interview, Harry spoke about the making of the song and how it plays into the album at large, and it's really telling. He actually said he wrote the song last.
I'd had a couple of years away from a lot of work stuff and had a lot of big realizations and kind of just generally opening up more to the world, and I think allowing some more positive things to come into my life, and that was kind of the culmination of all of that happening around the making of this record. So it was kind of this perfect little bow on it, and then when this song happened, it was oh, the record's finished. It's always been a real celebration song.
This completely makes sense with the context of the lyrics. Also, a fun random detail is that the album cover alludes to the aperture concept as well, since it resembles a digital camera screen. Now, how does this very confusing video feed into the song? The video starts off in room 605.
Room number, please.
605.
Mysteriously, the voice note that was sent to fans that are signed up for HSHQ text messages was also labeled 605. Now, some fans suspect that this might be a time or a date of a significant drop of something from Harry. However, if you do a quick Google search about the meaning of 605, it turns out there's an angel number that is 605, which signifies taking a new direction in your life and bringing positive change. This is just too good of a coincidence considering the theme of the song, so I'd say this was done purposefully. I immediately appreciated the tiny musical details in the first few moments of this video as Harry makes his way downstairs, such as the sound of the phone line ringing lining up with the first notes of the song. The teeth brushing lining up with the bass. The desk bell lining up with the start of the melody. And Harry's hand tapping lining up with the beat, which I think he also does in the Golden music video. I think he just likes doing it, to be honest. Anyway, Harry gets put on hold, so he wanders down, but there's no one at the front desk. He checks multiple rooms, and there's no staff or anyone else to be seen. However, he sees this strange man walking past him and then behind him on the escalator. Then, naturally, this guy drops his takeout and breaks into a full sprint and starts chasing Harry and tackles him. They fight for a bit, fall down a long flight of stairs, and crash into a room which seemed very familiar to me, and that's because it's where Billie Eilish's Birds of a Feather music video was filmed. Both videos were filmed in the Westin Bonaventure Hotel and Suites in downtown Los Angeles and share very similar shot styles as well, which I think happened because both Harry and Billie were trying to go for like backrooms vibes, for lack of better words. Like a place that reminds you of many hotels and rooms at once. You don't recognize it, additionally feeding into the "I don't know these spaces" lyric, but it feels familiar so that the viewer doesn't focus too much on the background and the focus is on the characters. After this crash, the stalker seemingly gives up and wanders away, but now Harry needs his revenge and sprints at him. However, instead of engaging in more conflict, Harry gets a Dirty Dancing style lift and starts defying the laws of gravity. What the hell? All of a sudden, these guys are dancing together, doing flips together, they're best buddies. There's a lot of theories that have emerged about what this represents. The dynamic between these two seems very back and forth. At first, the stranger is attacking him, then Harry attacks back. They dance collaboratively, they dance separately, and at some points, it even kind of looks like the man is controlling Harry. And in between these bouts of dancing, sometimes it still looks like one is chasing the other. There are many things in life that one can have this tumultuous type of relationship with. However, given details from both the video and what the song is actually about, there's only a few explanations that really make sense. For example, some fans thought that this could be visualizing addiction because of the high and low moments and love-hate relationship, but the theme of letting new experiences into your life doesn't necessarily align with that. Similarly, a key detail in the video is that at one point, Harry literally bites the hand that feeds him, and so while many thought this could be representing a romantic relationship, as is alluded to in the actual song, I think it's unlikely that that's all the video is about. That power dynamic doesn't usually exist in a new relationship. So what could it be about? An interpretation that I liked is that the video represents Harry's relationship with fame. The stalker-like vibes of the man could represent how the public and his fans are always watching him, and some even go to extreme lengths. The man charges at Harry and attacks him since sometimes having that type of status hurts him by affecting his personal relationships or his day-to-day life. But a lot of the time, fame also gives him opportunities and great experiences that he wouldn't otherwise have, and he also works in tandem with the media and his fans. Sometimes his status dictates his direction in life and is overly controlling. I think this was especially true in the One Direction days where management had everything planned out. So when the man is swinging him around uncontrollably and Harry bites his hand, that's him rebelling against the pressures that have been put on him, but simultaneously sabotaging the very thing that got him to where he is. I think the broader theme of this video, though, is about facing the things that he keeps trying to run away from in life, including in some instances fame or even romantic relationships. In his BBC interview, he was talking about trying to ignore things he felt he needed to pay attention to, as well as spending the last 2 years immersing himself back into the crowd and having normal experiences. Once he was able to accept these things, he was able to get more joy from life and finally get a lot of the things that were inaccessible to him before. Notice that at the beginning, the receptionist was nowhere to be found. However, after he goes through the struggle, he returns and this receptionist greets him like nothing happened. That's my interpretation for today. Please let me know what you thought of the meaning of the video and the lyrics in the comments below. Additionally, let me know if I missed any details in the video, like this cart that has glasses on it for some reason. Could this be an Easter egg? I know I'm reaching, but they're just so randomly placed. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and consider subscribing if you also like overanalyzing pop music.